Are you easily pissed off by those people who always seem to be the little dogs in society, right? The ones that always heed to whatever the new trend says, whatever new agenda comes into place, they always seem to be the first to so called adjust. They don't necessarily adjust to something, they just embrace it because it is what their comfort demands. You have to understand, you can look at this society that we live in as a garden. In this garden, there are the plants that live and they adjust the way they can. And, well, the gardener, aka society, decides what kind of soil will be preferred this time or what kind of plants will be affected by the new agenda. Yes, and there are people exactly like mold, exactly like parasitic plants that just settle in the soil and adjust almost immediately. They don't have to adjust much. It is their comfort zone to simply live by anyone else's points of view, anyone else's agenda, and the such. There is a wise quote that says, hey, if you don't find something to fight for in your life that will make your life better, well, someone else will employ you to fight for their own cause. Yes, not for yours. So, if we are to think a bit about it, well, these people are necessary even for consciousness. They are necessary for most societies because these people are usually the ones who also get sacrificed sooner or later. When sick societies start spreading their own agendas, these simple minded folks are the first ones to choke on them. Yes, they will be the first ones. They will be the first line of applying to whatever the new agenda wants from them, whatever the new agenda wants from society. These fuckers who lack any sort of consciousness, they also almost automatically become the policing force for society because it is their comfort zone. Their comfort zone relies on doing whatever society wants just because they don't want the things that they are used to ever change. Yes? It's like those people on the internet, in your favorite video games community. Yes? When the video game simply changes, when there is something that is nerfed, there are always those who cry and rage about it and write hundreds of pages of why that nerf shouldn't be done. This happens because they have probably become so accustomed to playing that character or that play style or whatever suited them so well that obviously it was a problem for others and probably it was too good, so it had to go away. It had to be stripped a bit of its power. So they will simply fuss around because it has become their comfort zone to exploit the system, to do the same thing, the same strategy all over again. These people are usually the ones that are, crushed by the spinning cogs of the system that they wish to protect. Why? Because the system that they wish to protect does not give two hoots on them. See, a sick society is just a little party, and no one else outside of the party is invited in there. This sick society is no different from any other societies that have existed before us. And one has to understand when you are being privileged by this society, the point is it a sane society or is it a sick society? Because a sick society is obviously well known for genocides, murder, maiming of people. Everything that it does is dangerous in a way. We live in a society, in a place, in a time where everything is poisoned. Your food, your air, water that you drink, and everything is deliberately done. Yes? Even medicine are made in such a way that they always have a side effect. Now, the point about medicine is that at least they cure the problem as much as they can. Yes, usually they don't have much of a curative effect. Some of them are better, to preempt the so-called disease. Now, in a sick society, those people that anger a lot of other people usually get crushed because they are simply comfortable. They will always want to do something because it is their comfort zone, and that wanting to do something always results in the simplest thing that they can do: be slaves of their own comfort zone. And these are still the people lost in the old beliefs that society will provide for them. Society will only provide for its tools as long as they are useful. Afterwards, they'll be discarded. It's always just like that. It's a hidden rule of consciousness. You don't need to be a human to understand that. It goes on even in animal realms. Yes, when animals follow certain agendas of theirs, they'll probably be smart enough to make use of others and then, well, probably discard those as well. If you have forgotten how consciousness functions within us humans, take a look at nature, and nature will gladly remind you how things are. It's just that when you live in a narcissistic society, everything natural becomes denatured, everything natural becomes weakened, because narcissists know that they are perfectly worthless. They have nothing that they will ever bring to society, and their greatest fear is always that of death, and not only that, but the fact that the masses will rise and simply rid themselves of the narcissism that they never needed. Yes? So, within this sick society, everyone ends up as a tool. Some are simply willing to offer themselves as that, thinking that they will reach some place of, um, well, not necessarily nobility, but some place of privilege. The point is, if a sick society can give you a huge sum of money, it can definitely take it away, and it can also take way more than that away. If you don't believe it, well, look back in history. How many celebrities have given their life to the system? They have done the music or whatever that was called of them. And when newer celebrities came, the numbers became a bit higher than it was allowed. So some of those celebrities had to go, you know. And all those crimes, all those murders were obviously, covered by the mainstream media, saying that some kind of raving fan or whatever, car accidents, you know the drill. They always do the same thing. It's always the same pattern because that's how consciousness functions. It's always the same pattern. Maybe the way is a bit different, but the pattern is always the same. So hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. Do not be angry at simple-minded people. They're just tools of a society much like you are. Except that they don't have a consciousness. Except, well, yeah, they don't have a consciousness even if they look like you, even if they resemble a human. They don't have a consciousness. Call them young souls, call them whatever. The point is, they are willing to offer themselves to society's slaughterhouses, to society's sacrificial altars. Yes? So that you don't have to do it. Be wise in life and observe things the way they are. This being said, Ferenjan Board signing out.